say that my mum, who was very, very close to Rita, albeit that there was 17 years difference between two sisters, you might say that's it's a generation, but you would never know that. They were very, very close. And when my mum died in 1978, it was a tragic loss to us all, Rita and Tony included. That's why Rachel is called, Rachel was born that year, Rita's Rachel, and she's called Rachel May. That was after my mum. So yeah, that was very tragic. And
is there a similar gap then between you and Rita as Rita and May?
There's 9 years between Rita and I, and there was 17 years between Rita and my mum. But Rita was like a soulmate to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Although she was really close to my mum, I could confide in her, and she could confide in my mum. It's a bit of a weird, really, but it worked. Whichever way it goes, it really, really worked.
And she was close to my dad too as well, wasn't she?
Very much so, yeah. Well, my dad loved Rita. In fact, Rita was a bridesmaid at my mum and dad's wedding. Rita was only been a little girl, she'd have been about 4 or 5, and she was a bridesmaid at my mum's wedding. I don't think so.
I've never really heard much about your dad. I've obviously heard loads and loads about your mum. I've never really heard lots about your dad over.
Well, my dad absolutely adored all of my mum's family, all of them, everyone. In fact, my mum met my dad in my nana's house. That was how they met, because my dad was introduced to my mum because he was a friend of the family somewhere down the line. So that was where he met my mum.
Well, Rita grew up with
so
my dad,
she,
really,
as a little girl, Rita had known my dad all the time, so they were very, very close. Very close indeed. And with regards to when Tony Mac came on the scene, they were budding entrepreneurs, Tony McAlevey would find any which way to make a fast buck. And I seem to recall him buying a load of old rubbish. It was plates and crockery, and I don't think there was one without a crack in or a chip. And it was my dad's job to go and sell that on Great Home Street Market every Saturday morning. As you can appreciate, nothing was ever sold. It was just a load of junk that had to get dumped in the end. So that didn't work.
Did dresses once or something like that?
Pardon?
Did you buy frocks or something like that?
They did, yeah.
Clothes and shoes and...
Yeah, remember that?
Anything.
Yeah, they went into the clothes business, started buying dresses to sell them. I think he's had a go at everything, really. You know, anything to make a few bob or save a few bob. And he hasn't changed at all. Sorry, Toe,
no,
you haven't.
I can wait for that.
Where are we now?
Until got married.
Then, of course,
they've moved to
digressing slightly, but we're in Skem now and getting on with our lives. And once we'd sort of like got used to being married and out there on our own, we started to see less and less of Rita and Tony. And the times that we saw them really was when we would go to my mum's, and of course Rita and Tony would still turn up on a Sunday. So there were occasions when we did get to see each other, or if there was a family do or whatever. And then of course in 1978, tragically, we lost our mum, and it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous, and there's an emptiness that we all still feel today, and I will feel to my dying breath that, you know, she should have been here to see so much of all what's happened with all of us, and the success that we've all made of our lives. I'm pleased to say, I'm proud to say. And my mum died in 1978, 2 months before Rachel was born, and my dad died tragically 10 months later. So it was very hard on the whole family. But you know, because of the legacy that we were left, we're strong people and we're survivors, and we've all got through, and we're here today to tell the tale. They'll always be part of our lives, Rita and Tony included. However, life goes on, and life did go on for us all. But in 1988, my 2 children were in a horrendous accident and were both very, very badly burned. And
Rita used to come up.
I'm very lucky to still have them today. And I'm very, very proud of both of them. And I would like to say that throughout that time, Rita and Tony were absolute gems. The hospital that looked after the children was Booth Hall in Manchester, and because of the nature of the injury, it was necessary for me to actually live at the hospital for 10 months. And for 10 months, Rita, every Sunday without fail, would bring Sunday dinner and a dessert, something for everyone, and that was throughout the whole of the time. So she was like a breath of fresh air, very supportive, and was like a second mum to me at that time, and I will never ever forget her for it. She was amazing. Tony worked on the rigs at that time, although did come to the hospital as often as he could. Because of what has happened in our lives, I had to give up my job, as did Frank. And money was tight then. Tony went out of his way to have a collection on the rigs to get some money together to help us for the things that we needed for when we went home. And like I say, I'll never forget both of them at that time in need.
Do you want to stop it for a minute?